past, fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya, and well, in the last part, they had a party at the Xavier Mansion, and Midoriya, he was having a blast. Now, the mutants are celebrating a victory for their kind. They took down Onslaught, and they saved the world. Now, along with that, Midoriya, he has been pardoned for the crimes of the World War Hulk series, or the saga. And he's still working with S.H.I.E.L.D. Along with that, Midoriya, he did have a talk with his sister, who, she is trying to get used to the absurdity that a superhero does deal with on a day-to-day basis. Now, Midoriya, he did eventually black out after partying too much, and he did wake up surrounded by some people. Now, Midoriya, he did get up, as he did go to put on his shirt and a pair of jeans. And he did walk out of his room. Now, after Midoriya gets downstairs and make a glass of water, you did actually have Cyclops, who was sitting there. Him just holding his head and asking Midoriya if he does know where anything is that they can use. Now, Midoriya would just say that he's not really too sure. Now, this would be whenever Colossus would walk into the room, and he would ask them if they're looking for some of these. Now, Colossus would hold up a, bottle of pills, saying that they should take 2 and to just drink plenty of water, as he would go to toss them to Cyclops. Now, Colossus would then just ask if Midoriya and Magic had a conversation last night. Huh? Oh, yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah, now that I remember it, we did. Perfect. What did you talk about? Oh. A lot, really. We kinda had a heart-to-heart for a minute. That is good. Thank you for bringing me back. Those words are still weird to say. You practiced those in front of a mirror? Yes, I did. Now, Colossus will go to walk away and check on other people, as we do have about 30 minutes later, where Midoriya, he's already eaten some food and has been drinking more water. And currently he does sit outside, as he does meditate. Now, Midoriya is using his powers, and he is currently projecting through the mindscape. He wants to know about this mutant. Onslaught did talk about it, and it was kind of thrown into the background of everything. Let's see. If we can find out when this mutant's going to be born, then we can at least plan it out. Approach the family and discuss what to do. Maybe then things can be easy. Now, with that being said, you actually have Yui Midoriya, who she would come downstairs and see her brother who's outside, as he does wear a long black coat, or a leather jacket, which is hanging down to the ground. as it does also have a red X on the back of it. Now, she would walk outside, and as she is approaching Midoriya, he would tell her that he knows that she's right there, and that she can join him if she does want to. Now, she would come over and walk around to see her brother, who's floating up in the air. Huh, I sort of thought you were just standing there. Don't worry about it. Anyways, I need your help. Do you? What are you doing? I'm looking throughout the entire world, trying to find something. Forge is still repairing Cerebro, and that's going to take a few more hours. So for right now, I'm trying to find a mutant. Not many of us are away from the Institute. We probably have their number. Why don't you just call them? Easy. Because they haven't been born yet. What? Yup. Now, Midoriya would have opened his eyes to look at his sister, as she just looks stunned. A mutant being born? That hasn't happened since... I know. Hasn't happened in 3 years. So, we need all hands on deck for this. For right now, I'm trying to locate where it is. Then I'll tell the X-Men. Once I do that, then we can discuss where to go from there. But this is huge. Who else knows? Rogue, Mystique, and I believe that's it. Other than that, S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers. What? So all of us are in the dark. You haven't told anyone else? Yeah. If you want to, you could go tell everyone, and then come join me. But that would be wasting time. Now, Midoriya does talk about how there's brief windows where he can feel them in the mindscape. He can feel the mutant gene. It's like a heartbeat, slowly increasing. The more rapid it does get, that does mean it's closer to birth. And he can feel it. It dropped off the map some time ago, meaning that it's stabilized. So there's a possibility that the mutant is born now. He's not too sure. Without Cerebro, he can't be accurate with his statement. Now, Yui should just go to sit down, as she has been to float up into the air. And she does then go to reach out for her brother. Now, Midoriya and Yui, they both do look across the planet. And they are trying to discover where this mutant is. Now, Midoriya is searching through every city and every town, looking through anyone's mind. Is there anything wrong? Is there anything wrong? Now, Yui is trying to do the same thing. However, it is stressing her out with all the information she's taking on. And Midoriya would tell her to relax her mind, and that if she does want to increase her abilities like that, then she does have to make sure that she keeps her mind clear. Let the information flow like a river. Otherwise, it will overload her mind and she will go all drooly. Now, Yui would try to listen, and she would notice that whenever she does relax a bit more, that the information, it does come and go in an instant. And she's looking for that one key word. Now, Midoriya, he does eventually find something, as he does begin to look through the town Hope Summers was born in, as he does barely find anyone. That's certainly not a good sign. And then there's what he does here next. Where is it? Where has it gone? They can't let them find it. Now, Midoriya would open his eyes, as he goes to turn around immediately and fly towards the house. Now, everyone is eating breakfast, and they were letting Midori and his sister have a moment, since they don't spend a lot of time together. Midoriya bursting straight through the door and telling them that they have a mission now. What are you talking about? Yeah, Izuku, just sit down and eat breakfast. You don't understand. Another mutant's been born, and they're in danger right now. Now, everyone does look at Midoriya, as he does just state that he wanted to tell them after he found it, and he found it. They need to move. Him then saying a location, before turning around and flying off. Now, everyone does just look at each other in surprise, as they do just go to stand up and run, everything being left as it is. Now, the X-Men, they immediately head to this town, as Midori is the first on scene just a few seconds later. Now, the moment Midori did arrive, he does look down at the chaos, and see exactly what the humans have done. The town is completely destroyed, and it's on fire. This is insane. Now, Midori, he does begin to start to float down, as he does scan the area for survivors, and he does find some human minds. Now, Midori would immediately change the weather, as it starts to rain, and the fires do start to get put out, as Midori, he would fly over and find a human. Now, the moment they do see him, they are immediately on high alert, as they do turn and stare at him, talking about how, holy shit. Hey, I want to know what happened here. That's a lot, mister. It's none of your concern. Really? Because just a few seconds ago I sensed a mutant here, at this very location. Or not exactly a mutant, I heard you guys talking about one. A newborn, in fact. I'm here to take it. No, you don't understand. All this is wrong. She wasn't a mutant. I understand that. Mutants are born from normal people. They can be the offspring of other mutants, however. Our genome is not genetic like that. It's a mutation for a reason. That doesn't make sense. I know. But anyways, where is it? It's gone. Some guy came here, along with a lot of other men. They destroyed everything. The hospital, It's... Just look for yourself. Now, Midoriya, he would begin to investigate the hospital, and everything else around. Schools have been burned to the ground in this town, and there's corpses everywhere. Skeletons are, surprisingly, stuck in place. And Midoriya, he does begin to walk through the hospital, and look for anyone left alive. There is signs of bullet fire, and struggles everywhere, as people were mowed down indiscriminately. Midoriya even does go to a place where there would be a room full of babies on the other side of the glass, only to watch as it's a room full of fire and ash. Midoriya turning away, as he does grip down harder into his fist. Now, Midoriya, he would radio into the X-Men by contacting Jean Grey, him informing her to not come here. Now, she was confused. However, Midoriya, he does just tell her that he's going to show her things that he doesn't want his sister to see. Now, Midoriya would just show the town burning, and talk about how it's a lot worse than just this, telling her that children and babies are dead, They killed them all thinking that some of them could be potential mutants, and they wanted to be thorough. Now, Scott actually watches Jean. She is tearing up, along with rage beginning to form in her own eyes, as he does ask her if she's okay, to which she has just informed them to turn around. Now, they are all confused. However, Jean does share what she has seen with Beast, and he does have horror on his face. Before, he does just close his mouth, and he does go to turn the plane around. Now, everyone is confused, and you actually have Laura who's screaming at them to head to the location, head to the location. However, Beast does just say that it was a bloodbath, and that's all he does, scream at them. Now, Midoriya, he does try to look for answers, and he does hear from somebody about what happened, as he does hear about a strange man with a metallic arm and a glowing eye, who currently has the baby. Now, we do have Midoriya, who does begin to search the world for this guy, and he doesn't find him. After Midoriya, he has been looking up for 10 minutes. He does reach into his pockets and directly grab onto the Mind Stone. Midoriya feels his abilities skyrocket, and in this single second, Midoriya becomes the strongest telepath on Earth. As you do have the Stepford sisters and Jean Grey, all of whom they were all having conversations before they all did just look towards the sky and feel Midoriya's power. As Yui was the same way, along with Emma Frost. Now, Midoriya, he would look through everything. In a single instant, he looks through all of the Earth, and he does find Cable. Him currently somewhere in the Arctic, as he does actually look up, and he does turn to see Midoriya, as he does ask how. Easy, Midoriya would say, Cable hearing his voice booming throughout his mind. As Midoriya, he does fly off. Now, this would be whenever Midoriya, he does directly head for Cable, and he does currently stand in front of the man, who he does see. As you'd have Cable who's standing there holding the baby in one hand, and he's aiming a weapon at Midoriya in the other. As Midoriya, he would come down to land. Hello, Cable. It's you. I knew I'd run into you eventually. Everyone always does say that. I know. I know who you are. I'm not surprised. Listen, hand her over. We can let her be raised in this world. She needs to know, well, not the ugliness she's already seen. She's barely a day old, isn't she? Already her parents have been murdered, everyone who would have known her has been murdered, all her potential friends have been murdered. She doesn't deserve to be around that. Let her be with the X-Men, Cable. I don't want to have to use force against you. Not in front of her. Now, Cable would just tell Midoriya that he's very sorry, but he can't allow that. This timeline, it is so unstable. What goes on with the X-Men and what goes on with humans? It constantly jumps back and forth. And he's lucky enough to have prevented one future already. However, it's too late. For his timeline has already been destroyed, and it's already been salvaged. They took down the Sentinels, and right now the place is a world of peace. She needs to be there. The world he comes from is more peaceful, especially since they took down Apocalypse. Now, Midoriya, he does look at Cable surprised. Apocalypse? How do you know that name? I'm sorry? What do you mean? That name. I know it from somewhere. Do you? That's not possible. He's not around yet, is he? Not in this time, at least not I don't think. My sensors didn't pick him up. But I know it. Okay. Listen. We took down Apocalypse in our timeline. Ever since then, mutants, they've been getting justice. The world is recovering and it's healing. Albeit with some prejudice, but not much. So, let me take her. And one day she'll be back. You mean that, right? Yes. I'll bring her back one day. For me, it could be 2 decades. For you, it could be a month or 2 weeks. I don't know. She'll be ready. And she'll help her world as much as she helps ours. Now, Midoriya does grit his teeth and contemplate this. Now, Midoriya, he does ask somebody outside this. He contacts the X-Men and discusses it with them. A lot of them, they are cautious of this action. They don't think it's really a good idea to let Cable take the first mutant after M-Day away. However, they also know his reasoning and logic. If the girl's put in a world where humanity, they are still like this in their timeline, however, it's dulled down and she's getting ready for combat or to help with this world, then she could be a messiah of sorts. Let her go on her own journey for right now, and the day she's needed, she'll come back. Now, the X-Men ultimately do agree and tell Midoriya to let Cable know about this action. Now, Cable, he does thank Midoriya, talking about how he could not have fought him. Really? Yes. There's very little things that hurt you, and I don't have either one. Besides, making a contingency plan for you, I either needed a gun able to destroy a planet, or, well, something else, which I don't even possess. Magic. Alright, Cable. Now, Midoriya would bring up his hand and tell him to keep that girl safe. Otherwise, he'll come to that timeline and find him. I don't doubt it. You've done something like that before in my world. Huh? You've traveled through a universe. And what was it? In my world, you murdered Galactus. What? Galactus? Yes. Apparently you also did murder Celestials. I don't know too much about that. However, you did save the planet. Whoa. Yes. Anyways, I'll bid you goodbye. Now, Cable does go to walk away, as he makes a portal. And Midoriya, he would do one thing, telling Cable to wait. Cable turning around. As Midoriya, he would step forwards and bring his hand up onto his shoulder, and purge the techno-organic virus from his body. Now, Midoriya turns his entire arm and shoulder and part of his face, that's all infected, directly into organic tissue. And Cable, he did look down at his hand immediately, turn it into a fist, and then just look back up at Midoriya. Wow. That's new. Yeah. Consider it to be my gift. I failed one version of you, Nathan. Huh. Haven't heard that one in a long time. Goodbye. Now. He would then have the portal close, as Midoriya, he does just stand there in the Arctic, thinking about everything that has just happened. It's also strange. And Midoriya, he'd fly back to the X-Mansion, and he would tell everyone about this particular event. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. Catch you guys in the next part.